Storytime. My last Storytime was filmed in this dress thingy, so it's like the same day, but I want to tell this story before I forget it because it just happened a few days ago. And it's not like a crazy stalker story, it's so awkward though. So me and my friend Ruthie, we were going to the movies because there's literally nothing to do in Arizona besides Ghetto Castle and Coasters, which is like freaking crusty, or the movies, or we can go to the dirty ass lake. We're like, you know what, let's just go to the movies and see Straight Outta Compton. I also ended up seeing something else. What did we see? Sinister 2. We saw Sinister 2. We decided we're gonna go to the movies. We walk in, and you guys, like, I hate going to this movie theater, but it was closest. It was like right between her house and my house, so it's like, I'm gonna meet you halfway. I hate going to this movie theater because I always see the boy from My Worst Boyfriend Ever video. I always see him every time I go, so I'm like, do we have to go to this movie theater? She's like, yeah, because I have this refillable bucket and we'll get a bucket of popcorn for $1. So I'm like, you know what? Okay, let's go. So we walk in, I'm bracing myself for the storm, and he's not there. Woo! Her sister is there. So it was like really weird because, okay, she kept calling me out. So I had that huge like curly wig, like, but it looked natural. Like a lot of people were like, your hair looks so pretty. I'm like, it's a wig though. But she kept calling me out because Ruthie is like one of my best friends. So Ruthie tells her everything, I'm assuming. And this girl's like, so where do you get your wigs? And she says this in front of all these boys, and I'm like, now I'm not trying to get with these boys or impress them, but don't call me out around a bunch of boys. She's like, yeah, where do you get your wigs? Are you wearing a wig right now? Are these extensions? Are these extensions? I'm like, no, these are not extensions. And she's like, so you're wearing a wig right now? Really? You just gonna throw me under the bus like that? And I'm just like, yeah, I'm wearing a wig. You can go get them from stores and stuff. And she's like, so where do you get your wigs from? Diva wigs and like Premier Lace wigs and stuff. Oh, that's cool. I like your wig. I want to go get a wig too. Can I just like spray you? Like, bad dog, stop. I decided, you know, I need to walk away from her before she keeps exposing me and then somebody comes in that I don't want to hear this, because this was like in the town that I used to live in. Like, I used to go to school over here, so I don't want anyone else to hear this. So we finished watching Sinister 2 and we're like, you know what, let's go find something to do. We ended up going back to the movies, but I'll tell you guys about that in a second. So we walk out, we're like, oh, there's nothing to do, we're just chilling, talking to the person that makes the popcorn and stuff, and I'm like, okay, let's go now. I turn around and I stop dead in my tracks, and I'm like, oh my goodness. First I heard his voice, and then I saw him. I'm walking towards the door and my father is out there. Many of you tell me you never talk about your dad. Why don't you ever mention your father? I don't really have anything to say about my dad on my channel. Like, nothing really happens with my dad. He was usually at work all the time, so it's like no funny predicaments or anything. But my dad is standing out there, but anytime I run into my dad, I get super embarrassed because he puts me on the spot. Like, I was with one of my friends at the Air Force Base one time in the little shop at store thing, and he's like, why aren't you in school? You're skipping school. And I'm like, it was a half day. Some of we were getting yelled at and getting in trouble, and every single time I run into my dad somewhere, I always get embarrassed. So I'm like, okay, this time we're not gonna run into my dad. Like, I'm not gonna do this. Like, I'm almost 19 years old. I do not need to be embarrassed by my father in public again. So we go through the other doors, like we go all the way around through the back doors to avoid an awkward situation. And I'm like, okay, there's literally nothing to do. Let's just go see Straight Outta Compton. And she's like, your dad's gonna be in the movies, or the movie theater. I'm like, you know what? He is probably already in the movie by now because it's been like an hour and a half. Let's just go watch Straight Outta Compton. And this is what I don't realize. My father is the person who will go to the movies an hour and a half before it starts to get the best seats. He always did that to me and my brother as kids. He'd be like, okay, we're gonna go to the movies now. And we're like, okay, cool, let's go. We hop in the car with my dad, we drive up, and he's like, I would like to see Nemo for $2.50. And they're like, okay, cool. And we'll be like, $2.50. It's 12:45. So I should have already known. My dad's always showing up at the movie theater freaking early. And yes, my dad went to the movies by himself. And I asked my mom, why did you allow your husband to go to the movies by himself? Really? And she's like, me and your brother were doing something already, so he just went. So we go to see Straight Outta Compton, we get our tickets, and this kind of pissed me off because when we were walking in, the guy was like the same ticket taker guy, and he's like, did you guys just buy these tickets? And we're like, yeah. And he's like, I would have just let you in for free. And I'm like, Okay, so we walk in and we go into the movie theater, and the first person I see in the second row is my father. He's looking straight ahead, he got his bucket of popcorn, he's just so we were walking up, I put my wig in my face, I'm like, I'm not gonna do this, I'm not gonna deal with this. We go all the way up to the top, and then Ruthie's like, that's your dad? And he turns around, I was gonna say some guy. My dad turns around, and I'm like, no. Don't look at me, don't see me. You don't recognize this wig. I have not showcased it to anybody yet. You are not gonna know it's me. I'm just gonna duck a little bit, I'm not at the movies tonight. She eventually tells me he's not looking anymore, he's fine. It's fine, he's not looking anymore. We watched the movie, I could hear... Chris is calling me. Ignored. Okay, that was really mean. I'm gonna call him back after. I told him to call me back when he was done doing what he was doing. So he's probably gonna text me, bruh. Anyways, so back to the story, it's almost finished. So the movie finishes and we go straight down the stairs and we exit and I'm walking towards my... rolled eyes emoji. Sorry. So we're walking outside of the doors, like the main doors of the movie theater, and I'm going towards my car and I'm like, I recognize that truck next to my car. My dad parked next to me. I have cheetah, I don't have that car anymore, but I had cheetah seat covers. He knew that was my car. He knew what he was doing. So I go and I get in my car and here comes my dad walking up behind me, coming up to the car. Hey kid. Like, oh hey dad. Like the door was open, like he had his hand on the door. I'm like, hey dad, hi! So you can't say hi to me in the movies? I saw you. I told him straight up, Dad, you embarrass me. I'm sorry. I love you, but you embarrass me. He's like, fine, okay. And I think I hurt his feelings. Don't worry. That's not the last time I saw my dad that day. So I end up going to the house after I dropped my friend off. I dropped her off, Ruthie at her house, whatever. And I go to my parents' house because I had to go pick up some packages. And I knock on the door and he answers it. First of all, my dad doesn't just answer it like a regular person. He answers it with a full-on face mask. He was having a spa day. He opens the door and he's like, do I know you? Like, yeah, it's me. Well, you didn't know me at the movie theater? I'm like, I didn't mean to hurt anybody's feelings or anything. Well, my feelings aren't hurt. I'm good. And I get my packages. I get my packages really quick and then I'm like, okay, bye dad. He's like, bye kiddo. So basically he was fine, but I thought it was funny. First of all, he's having a spa day and then he's like, who are you? But yeah, that's basically what happened with my little awkward movie theater experience. I thought it was funny just because my dad, like my dad always embarrasses me, but he found me, like he always finds a way. But yeah, that's the end of the story. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I think it was a short story time just because it's not like almost 25 minutes long like my other ones. But I hope you guys enjoyed it and I hope you felt my embarrassment like radiating through the screen. And I will see you guys all in my next video. Bye.